Now the stories topping the news. Prime Minister Harris promises a better life for citizens and residents. The new foreign minister wants travel restrictions removed and centralized sewage treatment plant for St. Lucia. Good afternoon and welcome to ZIZ Midday Newscast for today, Monday, 23rd February 2015. I am JD Keynes. Now for a look at the news in detail. Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, has described his coming term in office as a new journey of new beginnings. Delivering his address at the swearing-in of the new cabinet, the Prime Minister said his government's focus is on uplifting people. Prime Minister Harris promised a new way forward for the nation that would bring a better life for all citizens and residents.
It has always been about you, your needs, your wants, your dreams, and how as a government we will not be a stumbling block to the legitimate expectations of our people, but we will help to unleash your dream, your imagination, your vision.
He said Team Unity's vision has always been for the prosperity of the people.
Everywhere I went, from ghetto neighborhoods to other neighborhoods in Frigate Bay and McKinley, there was a common cry from all of our people. We deserve better than that which we have. And today I pledge that our Team Unity government will be different.
Nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis have the assurance that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, under the leadership of the Honorable Mark Brantley, will seek to remove travel advisories that are currently in place for the country. Speaking with ZIZ News this morning, Brantley said he has a major task ahead, but he is committed to getting the job done.
Foreign Affairs means that I become the chief diplomat for the country. A very difficult time as we try to resolve issues with Canada and other friendly governments throughout the region. But we now need to engage, but I can assure you and the public that it will get the foremost attention from me and from the government. Prime Minister has made it very clear that these are issues that he wants resolved, and so you'll see us in the next few days and weeks engaging actively to seek to get these matters resolved positively for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Meantime, the Honorable Mark Brantley, who is also Nevis's Deputy Premier, has described yesterday's swearing-in ceremony as one of Thanksgiving.
Well, we're very happy with how the event went. I think it was an event of Thanksgiving, as well, of course, of swearing-in. And we are very pleased with the manner in which things were done. And we look forward now to working very hard for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis.
We turn our attention now to news on the regional scene. The Water and Sewage Commission in St. Lucia has announced plans to develop a centralized sewage treatment plant expected to decontaminate the raw sewage pumped into the Castries Harbour daily.
Mooring bay for international cruise liners, luxury vessels and cargo ships. The historic harbour facilitates daily trade, commerce and tourism. However, for those who have had the opportunity to visit the port or even walk along the famed Castries waterfront, an unavoidable, repugnant smell would confront you. The pungent odor is the result of the raw sewage released into the Castries Harbour on a daily basis. Wasco General Manager Vincent Hippolyte admits that prior consultations with foreign waste management firms have not produced significant progress in resolving this problem.
In 2011-2012, there was a major study that was done on the Castries Harbour by Smith and Warner, and that study resulted in several sites being looked at for the installation of a treatment plant to treat the water that comes from the sewer plant in Castries and around Castries, and to put it in a position to be discharged out in the bay or in the sea. And that would not cause a problem, and meeting the standards of various protocols. There were lots of issues, and there was never any decision and conclusion on it because certain requirements could not have been met easily.
Hippolyte explains that funding for establishing a suitable treatment facility has proved difficult, consequently delaying the much talked about Port Castries redevelopment project.
The whole Castries redevelopment hinges on this situation there, because raw sewage, and we must just face it, it's no secret, it's not being treated and it ends up in the bay there. So something needs to be done. But to deal with this, you really have to treat it. To treat it is expensive because you have to invest in a plant. To have a plant, you must know where you're going to site the plant. To site the plant, you must take into consideration the circumstances in the environment, an airport.
Wasco is determined to relieve citizens, commuters, and visitors of the unpleasant odor that permeates an otherwise beautiful harbor touted as one of the most natural ports on the planet.
We are looking at the possibility of siting that plant so that it is aesthetically pleasing, so that it can be easily dismantled and relocated somewhere else. It's modular in the sense that you can build it to size today and upgrade the size sometime later on. It has to be a plant that can be operated at minimal cost and within the capabilities and capacities and realities of our people and our country.
Wasco hopes to issue a tender to undertake work on a sewer treatment plant by year's end. Until then, our nostrils will have to continue enjoying that unsavory smell. Rihani Isidore, HTS News Force.
University of Guyana students clashed with police again on Friday as they protested for the return of normalcy at the university. More in this report.
University of Guyana students today locked the gates of the Turkan campus in a show of disgust over the 4-week-long strike. But the chief security officer would have none of it as he attempted to cut the locks of the gate. But the students stood their ground.
Cut me hand and don't touch me hand. No, don't touch me hand either. No, cut my hand.
Tell the security always behaving properly.
And don't touch me hand. Touch me and it's problem.
Touch me in this problem. You don't need lawyers, speed dial.
Touch me and you got problem. Right?
Step away.
No.
The truck needs to get in here.
No!
The police were called in, but they too had a difficult time getting the students to release the gate. The students made it clear to the police officer that they are the ones suffering, and they have endured the pain for weeks without any serious intervention from the UG administration or the ministries of education and labor.
If you assault me, I will have to arrest you, okay? If you assault me, I will have to arrest you. I am giving you think they let it get violent, man? They won't TV to show how violent they are.
There's not no violence, there's violence.
They won't TV program going to show them how violent they are. Where is violence?
It's violence, it's not violence.
Education. Education.
With our education, we fight them because we big, so we can pronounce them like violent properly. It makes a difference. You can't talk to me because you know say violence. It's violence. Violence. Spell it. Violence. Violence.
A security guard who turned up to work at the hut was not about to duck under the barriers to get into her office.
Lovely. Wonderful. No, I'm ducking through the little hole. I refuse to do that.
President of the UGSS, Joshua Griffith, said the action is an expression of the students' disappointment with the current situation.
All classes to resume before we return. This action is just to say that we're frustrated at the entire situation. And the time has come where all students need to stand up and say we paid for all our classes, we want all our classes. And that means that the unions, the administration needs to sit down, negotiate, and let the university go on.
Dr. Eiffel said the unions met with the Ministry of Labor and submitted a proposal for terms of resumption. But the University of Guyana administration is not in favor of that proposal.
We received an email from the Vice Chancellor yesterday. I saw it last night. And the email indicated that the UG's negotiating team, which is appointed by Council, has taken the decision that it will not offer the staff any percentage increase, whether interim or final. It will not offer it, and so the strike continues.
The strike action has extended to the Berbice campus. Reporting for Capital News, Royce Hendricks.
Internationally, 2 students in Bangkok have been sentenced to jail for insulting the monarchy in a university play. Katie Sargent reports.
Thailand has sentenced 2 university students to 2.5 years in jail for insulting the monarchy. The pair, both in their 20s, were each convicted of 1 count of lèse-majesté. They were arrested last August over a satirical play they had staged more than a year earlier at a Bangkok university. Wolf Bride marked the 40th anniversary of a 1973 crackdown on a student protest at the university. It was set in a fictional kingdom with a fictional king. But Thailand has one of the world's harshest laws against insulting the monarchy, making it a crime to defame, insult, or threaten the royals.
Ukraine's military says it cannot start withdrawing heavy weapons from the front line in the east as required under a ceasefire because it said pro-Russian separatists who advanced last week were still attacking its positions.
Ukraine's military says it cannot start withdrawing heavy weapons from the front line in the east as required under a ceasefire because pro-Russian separatists who advanced last week were still attacking its positions. Kiev says it fears the rebels, backed by reinforcements of Russian troops, it says, are planning to advance deeper into the territory the Kremlin calls New Russia. Moscow denies helping the rebels. One pro-Russian rebel, Alexander, speaks about the Ukrainian positions. As usual, he says, it's mortars, howitzers and tanks firing at us. Over there, in that village, they still have intact Uragans and Smerch rocket launchers. A rebel commander quoted by Reuters said the separatists would now begin pulling back heavy weapons from the front line. An overnight prisoner exchange has been one of the most concrete moves yet since the Minsk truce was agreed over a week ago.
Turning to the weather, today we will experience sunny skies with a chance of a few passing showers, while tonight will be partly cloudy with a chance of a few isolated showers. Temperatures will reach a high of 25 degrees Celsius as winds blow from the east at 12 to 18 miles per hour, reaching up to 20 miles per hour with higher gusts in showers over open waters. Sunset for today will be at 6:16 p.m. And that wraps up ZIZ's Midday Newscast. Join us this evening when we'll have the details to these stories and more in our major news presentation. I have been your presenter, JD Keynes. Have a great afternoon.